Justice Robert P. Young grew up in Detroit and graduated from Harvard College and Harvard Law School. Justice Young has been a member of the Michigan Supreme Court for 10 years. Governor John Engler appointed him in 1999, and he was elected in 2002 to a term that will expire in December of 2010. He's running for re-election this November. Before joining the Supreme Court, Justice Young served as a judge on the Michigan Court of Appeals, to which he was appointed in 1995 and elected in 1996. Prior to that, he'd been in private practice for 15 years. Justice Young is a judicial conservative, which means that he believes in the rule of the law rather than the rule of judges. As a judicial conservative, he believes that judges should apply the Constitution and laws as written, and that judges have no authority to impose their policy preferences on those that the people have written into their Constitution or their elected representatives have enacted into law. He has written many opinions defending the constitutional rights of Michigan citizens, including Hathcock versus Wayne County, which prevented the government from taking private property to give it to another private person. And after a little research, I know that Judge Young has been involved in many decisions that have affected us in law enforcement. But after 2 full pages of decisions that favored us, I quit. And I'm not going to read them all because it would extend so long. He's been an adjunct professor at Wayne State University Law School for a number of years.
They don't have much time left.
Honorary degrees from Michigan State. Justice Robert Young.
Thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you very much. I'd also like to extend my thanks to you, Lindsay. That was a wonderful speech. We've got to figure out how to bottle you, because everybody in this room who's in law enforcement knows how much alcohol and drugs contribute to the crime rate. So I want to commend you for your vision as early as it has occurred in your life, and I want to commend each of the honorees. I wish the public could be here today and all the other events where officers like you are rewarded, are recognized for your heroism. I have such a deep and abiding respect for law enforcement officers that I have selected tonight's event to formally declare my candidacy for re-election to another term on the Michigan Supreme Court. And on Monday, I'll file my papers with the Secretary of State that will place me on November's ballot, and I will also seek the nomination of the Republican Party at their convention. I've treasured the support of FOP that it's given me in the past, and I believe there's nothing more important that a judge can do than uphold the laws that keep criminals behind bars and to support the men and women of this state that put their lives on the line every day to protect the safety of our citizens. Now, given how difficult many of my colleagues and predecessors have made law enforcement during the last 50 years or so, it's a wonder that any justice would be welcome to speak at a gathering of cops. Most of you aren't as old as I am, but you might remember another bow-tie-wearing justice of the Supreme Court, Soapy Williams, who also served for a dozen years as governor. Well, Soapy Williams was one of the architects of the liberal empathy school of judicial philosophy, the catch and release group, that sought to place roadblocks and hurdles for law enforcement officials. And during his tenure on the Supreme Court, however, Justice Williams' attitude toward law enforcement took a 180-degree turn. The reason? He was the victim of mugging in Detroit. Suddenly, law enforcement was no longer an abstraction for Williams. His approach to law enforcement cases became a whole lot more practical after this mugging. Now, perhaps if all of the criminals that the Maryland Kellys or the state judiciary would let loose on technical grounds would move into their own neighborhoods, we would see fewer catch and release decisions and more judges with a serious approach to criminal law. But that's unlikely given the upscale communities where most of these judges reside. Thus, you have to choose the judges carefully and choose them with these cautions in mind. I thank you very much for your time, and more importantly, thank you for your service to the citizens of this state. Your professionalism and dedication inspire us all and keep us safe. God bless you all. Thank you.
Justice personally, his reputation is second to none. He'll be fair, he'll be just, and there are no such things as special interest groups. And because of that, I am proud to announce tonight that the State Attorney Police is endorsing Justice Young for his term on the Michigan Supreme Court.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.